All right, to all my fellow lefties out there, let's have a real talk. How many times have you been told to just get used to running a right-handed bolt action? Every time you work that bolt, you're forced to break your cheek weld, reach over the top of your scope, and completely lose your sight picture. Let's be honest, in the woods or on the range, that's not just slow, it's a liability. It feels like the firearms industry conveniently forgets that 15% of the population exists. Well, I haven't. I've gone through the entire market to find 5 single-shot rifles that don't just tolerate us southpaws, they actually respect us. Enough talk. Let's get to work. Kicking things off at number 5, we have the Traditions Outfitter G3 Pro. Now, a lot of companies bolt on a lefty-friendly feature as an afterthought, but this rig feels like it was designed with intent. For a southpaw, the single biggest headache with a hammer-fired gun is trying to contort your thumb over the receiver to cock it, especially with a scope in the way. When your heart is pounding and you've got a buck in your sights, that awkward movement is a recipe for disaster. The G3 Pro solves this right out of the box with dual, knurled hammer extensions. This means you can easily and silently cock the hammer with your left thumb without ever compromising your shooting grip. It's chambered in fantastic straight-wall cartridges like the 350 Legend and 450 Bushmaster, and it handles those thumpers with a specialized Lothar-Walther barrel. And that barrel is no gimmick. It's button-rifled and finished with a precision 11-degree target crown. That crown acts as a perfect uniform launch pad for the bullet, protecting the rifling and ensuring gas escapes evenly. The result is a more stable flight path and better accuracy downrange. When you finally press the trigger, it's like snapping a frozen icicle, a clean, crisp break that measured a consistent 3.5 pounds on my gauge. But let's be real, it isn't perfect. The brake action on this thing is stiff right out of the box, like trying to open a rusted shut gate. It takes some serious muscle to crack it open until you've worked it a few hundred times. And while the muzzle brake tames the recoil to a polite shove, the concussion is no joke. Forget your ear pro and you'll feel it in your teeth. It's a rock-solid entry point that works, but for a little more cash, you can step into some American-made craftsmanship that completely rethinks how a lefty should run a brake action. And that's what we're looking at next. Stepping up to number 4, we have the Henry single-shot rifle. Okay, we're officially leaving the budget world behind and entering the realm of classic American steel and walnut. The moment you pick this rifle up, it just feels like heritage. Most brake actions stick the release lever on the side, forcing a lefty to perform some kind of hand yoga to reach it in a tight tree stand. Henry saw that problem and fixed it beautifully. They placed the locking lever right on the top tang, where it belongs. A simple flick of your thumb to the left or right cracks the action open. That is true ambidextrous design, not just a marketing line. Internally, it uses a rebounding hammer, which means the hammer literally cannot touch the firing pin unless you pull the trigger all the way through its travel. It's an elegant solution that gets rid of those clumsy manual safeties that just get in the way. It's available in everything from .223 Remington all the way up to the beastly 45-70. Government. When you shoulder this rifle, its 7-pound weight feels dense, solid, and perfectly balanced. The action locks up with a sound like a bank vault door slamming shut. It just screams quality. But here's the one thing that will be a deal breaker for some of you. It doesn't have an ejector. It has an extractor. It only lifts the spent cartridge for you to pluck out by hand. Now, the purists will tell you this saves your brass for reloading, but I want you to tell me in the comments. If you've got a charging hog coming at you, would you rather be saving your brass or have an ejector that flings that shell over your shoulder so you can reload in a hurry? The Henry has sold for days, but that manual extraction keeps it a bit tied to the past. Coming in at number 3 is a rifle that trades tradition for pure modular performance. Entering our top tier at number 3 is the CVA Scout XP. In my opinion, this rifle is the modular revolution that left-handed shooters have been waiting for. Where other single shots force you to adapt to them, the Scout XP adapts to you. It starts with a fluted 416 stainless steel barrel. Those flutes aren't just for looks, they shave off critical weight while keeping the barrel rigid. That rigidity means the barrel vibrates with extreme consistency, shot after shot, which is the key to shrinking your groups down to the size of a quarter, even as the barrel heats up. But the real magic for a southpaw is the stock. It's fully adjustable for both length of pull and cheek weld height. If you've spent your life struggling to find a comfortable sight picture on a right-handed comb, this is a game changer. It lets you find the center of your scope instantly, every single time. The trigger feels like snapping a crisp carrot stick, light, predictable, and breaking cleanly at just 3 pounds. It comes in 350 Legend and 450 Bushmaster, and the recoil is more like a firm handshake than a punch. But I have to be honest about the aesthetics. This thing looks like a tactical Frankenstein. If you're a wood and steel purist, this rifle has zero soul. It's a cold, utilitarian tool, and the lightweight stock makes it feel a little front-heavy. The Scout is a precision instrument, but it also feels like one. At number 2, we're heading for the mountains with a rifle that's just as precise, but is built to disappear on your back. At number 2, we have the Bergara BA-13 Takedown. Now we're getting into serious high country gear. This isn't just a rifle, it's a ghost. Built for the hunter who hikes 10 miles over brutal terrain for one perfect shot. The most common complaint from lefties on a break action is the hammer spur digging into your thumb or getting blocked by the scope bell. Bergara's solution is simple and brilliant, a reversible hammer spur. In seconds, you can swap it to the left side. This is absolutely critical when you're cold, wearing gloves, and need to cock the hammer silently while keeping your shooting grip locked in. Under the hood is the legendary 416 AISI stainless steel barrel that Bergara is famous for. It's button-rifled and then honed to an almost unbelievable level of smoothness. We're talking a bore diameter that is consistent to within a 10,000th of an inch. That's an insane level of precision, and it's what gives you the confidence to take that long-range shot. Comes in perfect mountain calibers like 6.5 Creedmoor and 308 Winchester. And the whole thing breaks down into 2 pieces with the pull of a lever. The trigger snaps like a dry twig under a boot, breaking cleanly around 4 pounds. But its greatest strength is also its biggest weakness. This rifle weighs a scant 6.3 pounds. In a heavier caliber, that means the recoil feels like a swift kick from an angry mule. If you're sensitive to recoil, you're going to develop a flinch unless you run a suppressor. This is world-class engineering, but it's still a clever adaptation. Now, let's look at the undisputed king, the rifle that was designed for everyone from day one. And finally, sitting alone at the top, we have the Ruger No. 1. Look, everything else on this list is a tool. This is an heirloom. This isn't just a rifle, it's royalty. And it's what you pass down to your grandkids. For a southpaw, this is the Holy Grail. And here's exactly why. The falling block action is inherently symmetrical. You push the underlever and the breech block drops straight down. It doesn't swing left or right. It doesn't care which hand you use. This means a lefty can operate the action with the exact same speed and efficiency as a righty, something a bolt action can only dream of. The safety is a top tang slider placed perfectly where your thumb naturally rests, allowing you to silently slide it off without shifting your grip or taking your eyes off the prize. It is, in a word, perfect. It's chambered in legendary cartridges like the 275 Rigby and modern classics like 6.5 Creedmoor, And it uses a cold, hammer-forged barrel that's denser and smoother than a point-fit standard barrel. When you send a round downrange, the recoil is a heavy, deliberate push. It feels like the rifle is soaking up the energy for you. But let's be honest, finding a new one is like finding a unicorn. Ruger only produces them in limited runs now, so the price can be astronomical, and availability is a constant challenge. You will pay a premium for this class, and you'll probably be terrified of scratching its gorgeous wood and deep-blued steel in the brush. So here's the bottom line. Stop compromising. Stop making excuses for gear that wasn't built for you. If you're a mountain hunter counting every single ounce, you grab the Bergara BA13 and swap that hammer spur. If you're a Midwest whitetail hunter who needs a straight-wall tack driver that fits you like it was custom-made, the CVA Scout XP is your logical choice. If you crave the nostalgia of American steel and walnut, but need a design that actually works for you, you buy the Henry Singleshot. But if you want the absolute best, if you want the rifle that is the very definition of the single-shot art form, you hunt down a Ruger No. 1, and you never, ever let it go. If you want the raw truth without the corporate fluff, you lock it in right here.